This is not where I usually am, y'all, so bear with me. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is very much not my usual setup. I am currently working on a project for a play I'm directing, so I made these. I made all 7 of these choir robes, and they're almost finished. I'm getting ready to work on that now. But today is a very special day. It is warm back here. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the show. My name is DJ Bionic, if you did not know, and I am black with a surprise video that I didn't think I was going to be making until I sat back here and set my camera up. Today is obviously April Fool's Day. We all know this, but it's also a very special day. So yesterday, March 31st, was the 2-year anniversary of my album, Statuesque Hot Mess. And tomorrow, April 2nd, is the 5-year anniversary of my first album, Reasons. What the fuck? So I wanted to talk a little bit about music, about what music means to me, and kind of tie this into Beyonce's current project, Cowboy Carter, and kind of how I'm in this era of being inspired. I just want to talk about music for a minute, and I specifically want to talk about my music projects and Beyonce's current project, and just ramble. Can I ramble with y'all for a little bit? Okay, thanks. So I'm going to start with Reasons because it's the first album. Again, like I said, it's the 5-year anniversary tomorrow. Shout out to Reasons. So I have copies of these available. If you would like a signed copy of my album, I will send it to you in the mail. I think these are like $10 plus shipping or something like that. $15 plus shipping or something like that. But you can go to the link tree in my description and go to my Bandcamp page where you can find these, purchase them, and I will send them to you through Bandcamp. I will personally send them, and I usually send a handwritten message with these just because I don't know, I like shit like that. And that's why I want to talk about Beyonce too, because she's doing things that I like with music. I also have some cool stickers and some shirts available. I don't have Lil Net shirts yet, but like, look at Lil Net on the wall and right in front of you. These are holographic 3D, and these are little mini ones that are just like straight up vinyl stickers. All things available. You can go to my Bandcamp and find all my merch. I'm in the process of starting a new website where you can actually purchase my merch. We're not there yet. Anyway, back to the topic of this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get a notification every single time I post a video. There will be a probably 2 or 3 part Drag Race review video coming with my partner Ronnie, either next week or the week after, just because we are currently in tech for a show that I'm directing, and he's essentially assistant directing, but also stage managing. So we're a little busy right now. Like I said, 7 choir robes I have made, sitting here at my sewing machine, which you have seen in several videos. This lady is struggling to walk her giant dog. The area I live in is funny, y'all. So like I said, let's start with Reasons. This photo was taken by my friend Chris. Actually, all of the images in this album are taken by my friend Chris. Shout out to you, Chris. We love you. We stan. This was taken on a beach in Tampa. This literally was just a random photo that he took of me while I was like posing and being cute on the beach, and I was like, that's my album cover. That I just look at it, it's such a good picture. You can't really see my face, which I really like. I loved the shoreline in the background. I am not an ocean girly. I hate the beach. It's not my gig, but something about just the nature of what was happening and the combination of the elements, the sun representing the fire, the brown of this, the water, the earth, the air, the wind blowing. And then we have 9 tracks on this album, and I've done a track by track. I could break these tracks down, but really at this time I was very sad. I was in a really bad headspace when I started writing this album. Initially it was called track 7 was going to be the title track. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. And it was all these songs about sadness and about fear and about not feeling good enough. You know, I was in a really, really bad place. I was really depressed. I think this is around the time that I got my clinical diagnosis, if not a little bit after. And I felt like I was kind of repeating the cycle that I had already gone through. But my track 8, Reckless Heart, can you see? My cousin passed away that I was very close to when I was a kid, and we were not close as adults. We just kind of drifted apart as life happens. And he passed away due to suicide, and that affected me greatly because I was almost there as a suicide survivor. But I wrote that song at his funeral, which seems kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? But the person that was eulogizing him said something about reckless hearts, and it hit me, and this whole thing just kind of happened. It was like an apology letter to him. And then I wrote the song Reasons. I had originally written some of it, and it was like leaving his funeral was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, I have so many reasons to live. I have so many reasons to exist, to thrive, to be thankful, to be grateful. I had so much going for me in my life that I really wasn't seeing because of my depression, and I wanted to write a thank you letter to my depression because it gave me insight into things about myself that we sometimes don't get the chance to figure out, but also it keeps me in check sometimes. Not saying that depression is a good thing. It is not a good thing. It feels horrible when it is at its worst. But I wanted to feature someone on that song. I knew it was a feature, and I knew it had to be my niece because I wanted it to be a family member. The song's about my family a little bit too. And it just was recording this album. It was my first time in the studio by myself. I had put all these songs together. I had produced all this. I had written all this music about being sad, and then I completely changed it. And there are a couple of sad songs on here still. Chaos, which is, I don't know the best way to do this, but this tattoo is the reason that this is stylized that way, because I really love the symbolism of the semicolon. It's a pause and not an ending, and that's kind of what Chaos is. You can listen to all these songs. They're streaming everywhere. They're available for you to listen to, and again, you can purchase this if you'd like. But yeah, that's where I was when I wrote this, and I felt like after I completed this album, I listened to it all the way through for the first time. It was like catharsis, for real. Like it made sense. It flowed beautifully. It did everything I needed it to do. It was fun with False Hope. It was sexy with Selective. It was true to my sadness with I Promised Myself I Wouldn't Cry. And at the end of it all, my family has kind of been my rock. And so that's Reasons. And that's why I wrote Reasons. And that's why it's Reasons with the period. Because I have reasons, period. They are it. Yeah. And then we move on to the sophomore project, the follow-up, Statuesque Hot Mess. Can you see the difference? The visual difference between these two albums. One is like sepia, grayscale, not much color, very somber, you know? And one is colorful. It's still a little dark. It's still a little mysterious. It's still a little, you know, who is she? Which is kind of my aesthetic. But it also brings a completely new side of me. Like, I'm wearing makeup in this album cover. That was the first. And this was the first time I actually kind of allowed myself to have fun with music and write songs that might not be necessarily, you know, serious or have a meaning or feel like they needed to be super important. But also I did put some songs on here that are very, very important. Got 12 tracks on this one. 12 is my lucky number. This album changed a lot for me as far as my career. I definitely got more bookings because of the music that I put out on this album. I definitely was feeling more successful and driven to perform because of this album. And I also met my partner, whom I live with and I love very, very, very much, after or while I was writing this album. This one kind of starts where Reasons ends. I call them sister albums because they are one and the same. You can't have Reasons without Statuesque Hot Mess, and you can't have Statuesque Hot Mess without Reasons. And if you listen to them sequentially, Reasons, I end with My Mama, My Family, and then I start track 1 of Statuesque Hot Mess with Family Magic, which is a compilation of voices from my family. There's my grandpa, my grandma, who are both ill and in a state that I never thought that I would ever see them in, and I needed to capture their voices and have them kind of as a piece of my art. And then there's my mom, who we all know is my best friend. My nieces, my sister's girls, my sister, my brothers, and my partner. And my best friend Paris is on there too. Yeah, that was really special to me to put that together, and to use little bits of their voices and kind of overlay it on some music. And then this is the first time I took music that I had written before and previously released on a project called Human Condition, which is, you will see the final track, not from The Human Condition, but the song Audible is from Human Condition. It's kind of like this fun, sexy song about consent. I wanted to write a song about sex. I wanted to write a song because I'm a sexual being. I think that sex is beautiful, but I think it also can be fun, and like sexy and sexual things don't have to be so taboo. We should talk about it more. We need to educate people, but we also should just free ourselves and be like, I want to be sexy. And I start the song with pants tight, anticipating your love tonight. Like, baby, we're rock hard, we're ready. But the chorus of the song is, I can take you there, but only if your love is audible. Only if you tell me. And if you listen to the song, it just sounds like, oh, if you're gonna be loud and have a good time. But no, if you really listen to the lyrics, the lyrical content is, if you want this and you say you want it, I will absolutely happily take you to paradise. But only if you say you want it. And you are free to not say you want it. That's okay. I'm just here for you when you want me. So it's a little bit of a double meaning in that song. And then this is when I also kind of played with gender, and I wanted to write a Halloween song, so I wrote Witch's Brew. My job was pissing me off, so I wrote You Got Me Fucked Up. That's real tea. Anybody that works at where I work at, UGMFU was about a time I was really, really pissed off at work. Hungry is kind of about so many things, but mostly about fame. Insomnia is one of the first songs I wrote for the album. It was the second single, I think, and there is a music video on my channel. You can go watch it. The story of this is, it starts with things that make me feel strong and ends with things that make me feel weak. So we start with my family, we start with magic, we start with my love, we start with like consent and fun and sex, of gender and fuck gender, which Liquid is on this album. You can go watch my Tiny Desk video right now. And then we get into fun, Witch's Brew, UGMFU, Hungry are kind of like songs that have meaning but aren't like... Witch's Brew is probably the most fun song of this album. There's no real deep meaning behind Witch's Brew. I really just wanted to write a Halloween song. I wanted to write something spooky. I'm a spooky bitch, if you cannot tell. Well, honestly, you can't tell from my background. Yet. And then you go into Insomnia, which is kind of where I get into my real life again. And I get into, not real life, but like I get into my sadness again. I'd love to tap into my sadness and make that a part of my music. And one of my biggest symptoms of depression is insomnia, not being able to sleep. Velocity is a song I wrote about crashing my car and not wanting to exist anymore. I don't drive, so it's doubly funny to me. Minutes to Midnight is about the world. I hadn't written a song that really had a like world view, that like took what was happening in society and made it into lyrical content. If you ever heard of the Doomsday Clock, you know what minutes to midnight means. And midnight is doomsday. So I wrote this song about the climate, about Trump, about hate, And then Human Condition finishes with a little bit of the monologue at the end of the Human Condition, which does not exist anywhere anymore, I don't think. I know on my SoundCloud some of the instrumentals might still be there, but I don't think the tracks with vocals exist anywhere anymore, which is fine, except for Audible and a couple tracks coming up on my next project. And Human Condition is about being lonely, but not being lonely in the sense of not having anyone around. It's that hollow, empty, bottom of the barrel feeling that you get with depression sometimes. You know, like it's that feeling of I'm with all these people and none of them know I'm suffering, and I would just be a burden to let them know that I'm suffering. The play that I wrote, My Infinite Sadness, you can see the poster for it right there up in the corner somewhere. There is a line I wrote in that play that hit some of my friends really hard, where I say, like that time where you were in the car with your friends and the only thing you could add to the conversation was silence. And that's what Human Condition is about. That very line of that play. Because sometimes the sadness takes over. Sometimes the sadness takes over, but you can overcome it. Look at me. I'm a real artist, bitch. I got motherfucking... And just because you don't have jewel cases or physical copies or merch to sell does not mean you're not a real artist. But these are things, and this is where we kind of get into Cowboy Carter and the whole Renaissance era. These are things that I want us to get back to in music. I want us to get back to music videos. I want us to get back to album rollouts and putting out, you know, singles and releasing whole albums again. Like, that's what I strive to do, is tell a story with my album. I want you to be able to listen to the pieces of the album and listen to them separately and enjoy them as they are. But I have obsessively been listening to both Renaissance and Cowboy Carter. Renaissance into Cowboy Carter, Cowboy Carter into Renaissance. I have now mixed them together, so the playlist is on shuffle. Like, there is such a clear point of view and story that Beyonce is telling with these albums, with this project, with this era, this Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, that inspires me so much to keep doing what I'm doing, to know that I'm on the right path with what I do with my music, and wanting to tell a story and wanting to create music videos and wanting to have physical media. And I really hope that we are in a renaissance and that we get back to what made music good, which there is good music in this era. Of course, there is good music in this era. But for me, music has lacked staying power and lacked soul for some time. And I hope that this Renaissance era, and that Beyonce and all the artists that she is pulling in, and artists like myself and my friend Jazz and my friend Lana J, and so many other great talents here in St. Louis and across the world, are trying so hard to tell these stories and make music that people want to listen to, but also want to feel to. You know? I don't know, I guess I'm feeling really melancholy and sentimental today, and I'm like putting off the work that I have to do to finish these robes. I don't know, I'm just really excited about the project that I have coming later this year. I might be dropping another single sometime next month or the month after, maybe in May. Maybe I'll drop it in May. I've got a couple songs that are ready to put out. Yeah, I still want to do a music video for Pandemonium. That's still going to happen. I have one song that I'm really, really, really excited about that I want to do a music video for. And I'm just excited to perform more. If you are looking to book a Black queer solo artist who comes prepared and ready, holla at me. All my info is down below. And happy birthday to Statuesque Hot Mess and Reasons. It's so crazy that I put those albums out around the same time. That's so wild. I have to put this one out in the fall. It has to come out in the fall. Are y'all ready to see the album cover? You're not gonna see it in this video. I'm not teasing that I'm gonna show it in this video, but are y'all ready? Because it's already done. The album is already titled. It's already done. The track list is already ready. I just need to get back in the studio. I'm taking some time off because of the show and because of life and stuff like that, but I'm ready to get back in the studio. I'm ready to do some photo shoots and get some promotional materials ready. That's the part that excites me the most about music, is the behind the scenes, the creative direction, and being my own creative director, baby. I love what I get to come up with. I have put together some really cool stuff. You can watch it all on my page. I don't know. Comment down below what song of mine is your favorite. I happen to be partial to Witch's Brew. It's one of my absolute favorites. And one that's not out yet. Melanin. Oh my God, Melanin featuring Lana J. Baby, that song is amazing. Y'all need to stream it. It's the song of the summer. Again this summer. It will be the song of the summer. And honestly, the next song that I put out might be the song of the summer too. I don't know. I need to get in the studio and get it going. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about music. I wanted to talk about Statuesque Hot Mess and Reasons and celebrate those two projects and what they did for me as an artist, for me as a human, and let y'all know that more is coming so soon. I might not even edit this video. I might just put this up like this and throw some music behind it. And just a little real, raw, candid moment where I'm about to start sewing again and finish my project. Let me know what y'all want to see from me. Again, my name is DJ Bionic. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Links all down below if you want to buy any merch. Like I said, I have stickers, I have albums, I have shirts. All of that is listed on my Bandcamp. And I will ship it to you with a handwritten sentiment. And follow me on all my social media so you can keep up with all the things that are coming. Be the first one to know. And I will see you all in the next video. Mwah. Love you. Mean it. Bye.